The Lantern Maker of Duskwood. Good evening. In the quiet village of Duskwood, where the trees grew tall and whispered like old storytellers, there lived the Lantern Maker. His name had been forgotten by time, for everyone simply called him the Lantern Maker. Each evening, when the sky began to fold itself into night, he lit lanterns, not with fire, but with memories. His workshop was a small wooden cabin at the edge of the forest. Its shelves were stacked with glass jars and paper globes, each glowing faintly, as though holding on to the last light of day. He crafted each lantern with care, brushing the paper with soft strokes, shaping the frames so delicately that the lanterns seemed almost weightless. But what made his lanterns unlike any others was the light he placed inside. Instead of candles, he gathered moments from the villagers' lives: a child's laughter, the warmth of a shared meal, and the hush of a lullaby. He would cup his hands gently, and with a soft breath, the memory would glow, taking shape as a small flicker of light. He sealed it within the lantern, where it burned warmly without ever fading. The villagers would line up at his door when dusk fell. They came not to buy lanterns, but to give him something precious to keep. The grandmother brought the memory of her wedding day, shimmering like golden dust. A boy offered the echo of his first successful kite flight, which danced and spun like a little flame. A tired traveler passing through left behind the memory of a gentle river he once rested beside. The Lantern Maker accepted them, all with reverence. Each memory was polished, wrapped in silk threads of light, and set inside a lantern. At night, the village glowed softly, each house bathed in the warmth of its own cherished moments. The streets never felt dark, for the lanterns carried more than light. They carried comfort. Some nights, the Lantern Maker walked the forest path with a lantern in hand. He hung them from the branches so travelers could find their way without fear. The trees shimmered with golden lights, as though stars had descended to rest among the leaves. On those evenings, the forest was alive with a quiet, magical hum, like the sound of dreams being born. Yet the Lantern Maker himself kept only one lantern in his home. Inside was a memory so faint he rarely spoke of it. The villagers whispered about it, wondering what it might hold. Some said it was a memory of someone he left long ago. Others thought it was the memory of the very first lantern he ever made. But only he knew the truth, and he carried it close to his heart. One autumn evening, when the air was crisp and leaves fell in gentle spirals, a little girl knocked on his door. She carried nothing in her hands. "I have no memory to give," she said softly, "but my house feels too dark." The Lantern Maker knelt down and smiled. "Then let me give you one," he said. From a shelf, he took a lantern, empty and waiting. He closed his eyes and whispered into it. Slowly, a warm glow bloomed inside. The girl's eyes widened. "What memory is this?" she asked. The lantern maker's smile deepened. It is the memory of kindness yet to come. One day, you will do something gentle for someone else, and this lantern will be filled with it. The little girl held the lantern close, her face bathed in its soft light. That night, her home was no longer dark, and in the years that followed, she carried the lantern with her wherever she went. In time, she became known as the girl with the glowing lantern. Whenever someone felt lost or weary, she placed the lantern beside them, and somehow their burdens felt lighter. And just as the lantern maker had promised, the light inside grew brighter with every kind act she gave to the world. And so, in Duskwood, the lanterns of memory continued to glow, not just from the past, but from the gentle promises of tomorrow. The village never knew true darkness, for even in the quietest hours, there was always a lantern to remind them of warmth, kindness, and light. Good night from Slumberness.